Hello and welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about serialization process in Java. So let us start the discussion. So serialization is a process in which we will convert our Java object into a byte stream so that it will be able to store into the memory. You can store it into a file or database or anything if the particular class is serializable. So how to make a particular class serializable? You just need to implement the serializable interface in order to make the class serializable. Serializable interface is a marker interface, which means that it doesn't have any methods. So marker interface, how it will work is the compiler will identify each marker interface, and based on the name of the interface, it will be doing some functionality. Here in this case, it will be making that class serializable so that it can be written into the files and all. And now let us discuss about more about serialization. So the reverse process of serialization is called as deserialization, in which a serialized object is converted back to its object form. That is process is called as deserialization. Now let us see more about deserialization. Serialization. So serialization, in case of inheritance, what happens is if a class inherits implements the serializable interface, and then its child class also will be serializable. So like that it will be. And in case of reference variables, so if a class has a reference of another class in its object, and so at that time the reference variables must be serializable. And in case of arrays and collections, all the objects inside should be serializable in order to complete the serialization process. Next we will discuss is serial version UID, which is a method to find in Java to find out that the both sender and receiver of the object serialization process is having the same class. So to identify that there is a field we have to provide in our serialization class called as serial version UID. So the UIDs of the both sender and receiver should match. Then only the serialization process will complete successfully. So thank you for watching. Now let us see some programs based on serialization procedure in Java. Now in this program, let us discuss about serialization procedure. So serialization is a procedure by which we will convert our objects into byte stream and then store it into a file or any other systems. So let us start this program. So here I have a class which is student class, which I want to serialize the objects of, and this class is implementing the serializable interface, which is a marker interface, which means that I don't need to implement anything. I just need to implement the interface, then automatically it will compiler will identify that this particular class is serializable. And you can see for id name, there is no keywords. For branch there is a transient keyword, which means that that particular field will not take part in the serialization procedure. You will see when with the output will come for this program whether it will serialize or not. And I provided a constructor to set the values. So now let us go to the main method where I am serializing the object. So here we are in the main method. So I am creating a file output stream object first, and then I am using the object output stream object, and in the constructor I will pass the file output stream object. So in the file output stream object you can see I am using the out.student.txt, which means I am creating a folder out in the particular Eclipse project main for in the root folder, and then I am keeping away. I want to keep the output file in that particular path. So after that, object output stream, I will have the object output stream object, and then I will use the write object method. Inside that I will pass the new object, anonymous object I will create for student, and then I will pass the values. And I am catching the exception, file not found exception. Sorry, IO exception. IO exception I am catching. So now let us see the what happens when we run this program. So here you can see it is showing that it is serialized. Now let us see the path where the file is. So I am opening the particular file which is serialized. So here you can see the class. We will not able to understand the code, but it is a file will be created and the serialized object will be saved in that. So now let us see the deserialization procedure. Now let us see the deserialization process. So in this process, the file we are already created a file student.txt in that particular serialized object s came. So now let us deserialize back into a Java object. So here you can see the particular concept. Here you can see the I am using the file input stream object to store the particular input stream, which path it should be provided, so that I will be able to read the object. And for the object output stream and object input stream method, I am passing the file input stream object and creating the object of the object input stream. Then I am using the student and directly using the object output streams read object method to read the particular object. So that will be reading, and then I am printing each values one by one, each field values one by one. And here you can see the different errors: IO exception, file not found exception, and class not found exception. These three exceptions will be catched. And that's about the deserialization procedure. Now let us see the output. So here you can see the deserialization procedure output. So ID and name is coming, but branch is coming as null because branch is a transient keyword we have used. So it is a not serializable. So it will be null. It will coming. So that's about serialization procedure. So in this lecture we have gone through serialization procedure, which is the procedure of writing the object into byte streams and saving it into files and recovering back. That process is deserialization. So this process we seen how the methods are getting called, we seen. So that's it about the serialization lecture. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with the next lecture.